Hey, it's Alex here. Welcome back. So today I'm going to be going over the biggest question I've been getting over the last 2 weeks. What is happening with the market? Because the news headlines that are out there are not consistent with what is actually happening out there in the Orange County real estate market. Stay tuned. So when it comes to news headlines, the two news headlines that I'm seeing the most being flashed across the screen is number one, mass layoffs. That is something that I am continuing to see being posted out there. And yes, absolutely. Businesses, their role is to maximize the profits. And that comes at expense at layoffs, especially if they don't need as many people to go ahead and serve the clients that they have. The other one is that home sales are actually down. So let me go through that a little bit more in detail so we give you a little bit more perspective on what I'm seeing right now. So here's an article from TechCrunch, a comprehensive list of 2023 tech layoffs. So there's definitely a number of companies that are laying people off. So April 2023, Redfin, the real estate tech company, laying off 201 employees or 4% of its workforce. Apple is also laying off a small number of roles. Netflix is also having a handful of layoffs. Roku, Unacademy, Shift Technologies, Lucid, GitHub, Disney, they're going to be laying off around 7,000 employees. So Orange County could be affected a little bit more just because we have Disneyland, Salesforce, the sales technology company, Accenture. So there are companies that are laying people off, and that's just a normal reality. These things happen all the time. But right now, the news is bringing these to the surface to sensationalize some of the concerns that are out there. Now, looking into housing market predictions, this is from Forbes Advisor. Housing market predictions for 2023. Are home prices finally becoming affordable? That's a big question. And what affordability means to one person may be completely different from someone else. But when people are saying that the housing prices are decreasing, the house prices haven't actually gone down very much. In fact, it's just the number of homes that have been selling have decreased. And the reason that's happening is actually more based on the fact that there haven't been as many homes available for sale. So we have been in a lower inventory environment. So that's one of the things to kind of look at when it comes to breaking it down. So when it comes to real estate, it really breaks down to how supply and demand work. So let me show you a little bit of a background, and this is Orange County listings, inventory versus demand. There has been a bigger gap as of last year in 2022 and looking at how this is set up, but let me give you a little more background on these timelines. So the average days on market, which means the average days a listing has sat on market, in March of 2022 was only 19 days. As we moved into June, it was actually at 45 days on average on market. And when we moved all the way to November, it was actually 89 days because there's the biggest gap that we've seen in the last 2 years based on the demand versus supply of homes. That's one of the things that happened. But when you look at today and looking at how this is set up, this was that gap in July. And then today, the gap between supply and demand is actually fairly shallow. So we are seeing multiple offers on homes that do show really well. So what we're seeing is it's not an extreme seller's market in most areas, but if the home is priced well and it shows well, it probably will sell with multiple offers because of that gap in demand and supply, because they're actually fairly narrow between those two right now. And based on a poll I've personally done on lenders and the activity, is that for Chase, Wells Fargo, Loan Depot, US Bank, and actually credit unions, the number of pre-approval applications that they've received from buyers that are looking to get prepared to buy a home has gone up by over 50% in the last 2 weeks. And even though it's not a statistical measure, what I will tell you is that we are seeing a lot more activity at our open houses. This past weekend in Huntington Beach, we had a listing at 20902 Spindrift. That home actually had over 100 sets of people through the 2 open houses in 2 days. And today is the first day that we're accepting offers, and there are already 3 offers on the home. So what should you do if you're a future homeowner? Well, if you are thinking about buying a home, it's important that you do really look at the interest rates because they have moved up and down over the last 2 months. In March 3rd, they were actually over 7%. As of the recording of this video, they're close to 6.5%. So we really want to make sure that the financial ability and the time frame that you have built in matters. But beyond that, if you see a home that stands out to you and you can see yourself in, it's probably better that you make an offer as long as it's affordable and it meets your goals, because due to the lack of inventory, you may be waiting a while to find that perfect home if that happens. But it has to make sense, and our goal always is to get you a home you want at a price you want and at terms you want. And then if you're a potential seller, if you're moving out of area, I do know that other markets are a little bit less competitive than Orange County right now. But if you're going to have to, move and you may be looking at a new market, you want to understand the demand there. But there's 3 options. You may want to look into the option of buying before you sell. You may want to look at the option of ultimately renting back from the buyer that you sell your home to give you a gap in time to allow you to make that move, conveniently. Or lastly, you may want to just look at the option at being contingent. Either way, there are a number of options, and if you're a home buyer that is looking in this market, we currently have our inside sales team reaching out by door knocking, phone calls, and sending letters in the areas of Fountain Valley and Tustin right now. So if there's homes that are on your wish list that you really need more support on, let us know, because we do have a tool to do that. We'd be happy to put that criteria in to see if we can find a home that's off market or an opportunity that would make sense to you. Have a great rest of your day. If you guys have any questions, I'm here to be a resource any way I can, and talk to you real soon, and see you next time.